Alright, magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Muli po tayo nagbabalik sa napakagandang reaction video. Ako po si Opinion and Reaction PH. Panoorin at reaksyonan po natin itong si Atty. Reginald Tonggol, spokesperson ng Senate Impeachment Court, na tinalakay niya nga dito yung impeachment trial para kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Pero bago po tayo magpatuloy sa ating reaction video, huwag niyo naman po kalimutan pindutin ang like, share at subscribe.
All right, joining us now, the spokesperson of the Senate Impeachment Court, Attorney Reginald Tonggol. Attorney Tonggol, good afternoon to you. Thanks for joining us today. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Carmina, and to all your televiewers.
I'm going to read to you what Congressman Shell Diokno said when he did say that statement about, this might be a trap. I don't want to misquote him, so I do want to say verbatim what he said. Ito po ang sinabi niya, yan ang bagay na kailangan pag-aralan ng mabuti kasi baka naman maaring maging trap na yan. Kapag ginawa ng House yan, ay sasabihin naman nila, nag-violate na kayo ng 1-year ban. This is of course with regard to the second certification concerning the House's willingness to prosecute. Your reaction to that, Attorney Tonggol?
Carmina, I think I addressed that yesterday already during my press con, and I said that the litigants, as much as possible, should not see malice through the actions of the impeachment court. As a court, it is a passive actor in this whole process. So if ever they have any grievances, then they can file whatever manifestation or motion with the impeachment court. Now, I think that is a political narrative that they are trying to pursue. However, nobody will benefit if people, especially litigants or possible House prosecutors, would actually attack the integrity or independence of the impeachment court. Because imagine a scenario, Carmina, if there comes a time that the impeachment court will decide in favor of the prosecution. And because of the fact that they have chipped away so much of the credibility of the impeachment court, that the other side or even the public would not anymore believe the actions of the impeachment court. So that is a very dangerous action to be done by litigants especially. So that's why
I'm sorry to cut you there, Attorney Tonggol, but what do you say? What do you say to the observation that the Senate Impeachment Court doesn't actually need the House of Representatives to erode the credibility of the court, because you're doing fine doing that as the days go on? What do you say to that observation? You don't need the HOR's help.
Actually, as I told you earlier, the court is a passive court. So if ever there is any grievances as to the actions of the court, then they have all the legal remedies that they can avail of. What we have to consider now is, where are we in the process? And as we have laid down yesterday, we have already accomplished 55% of the steps that was laid out. So I don't think that any action from the court can be done until such time that the compliance to the second order has been submitted to the impeachment court. And we have made it clear from the very start, from the issuance of the order last June 10, that is a condition sine qua non. And there is also a need for the House prosecutors to also give their new reappointment or authority to continue prosecuting the case. So even those things shouldn't be seen as something that is trapping any party, because I think they can file whatever they can file, such as, for example, for the meantime, they can file any written interrogatories in order to prepare for calling the vice president or the other party when it comes to the defense. So on those aspects, they are not left without any recourse. So the court is actually just waiting for whatever submissions that they can give to the court.
And tell us something, Attorney Tonggol. If the court did not issue this order for the House to comply with, what would have happened? Why the need for this order to begin with? And what would have happened if you didn't give out that order?
I think the impeachment court has considered that this will be an ongoing question on the part of the defense and the senator judge who raised the issue of dismissal. So in order to preclude, forestall, and foreclose that possible discussion again, that's why the court, in its wisdom, gave the House of Representatives to be the one to interpret and put a close on this issue of whether or not the process can cross over from the 19th to the 20th Congress. So it is actually empowering the House of Representatives to be the one to decide and interpret this case of first impression. We don't have any jurisprudence about this, so everyone is doing what they can in order to come to terms with this circumstance.
But then again, one could argue, Attorney Tongol, that you could have left it to the defense to raise this matter. As you said, you think that the court thinks that it's going to be an ongoing question from the defense. Why didn't you just leave it up to them to question this if they need to, if you think that they're going to question it anyway? Why even intervene at this point?
Because as you remember, Carmina, this issue was raised during the June 10, 2025 session or convening of the impeachment court. And a senator judge actually stood up and moved for the dismissal. So that is the issue that was before the impeachment court at that time. So that was the issue that it tried to balance and resolve at the time. Not any other issue, Carmina. So when the motion was put to the floor, then the presiding officer, rather than deciding by himself, put the decision to the College of the Senate Impeachment Court. And that is what we saw. That was the deliberations and the votation. So that's the only issue that was settled by the court at the time.
In what form is the court expecting this certification to come in? Because there are those who say, Attorney Tongol, and I'm sure you've heard this, isn't it enough that there are designated prosecutors already, that there are representatives who are willing or a part who are willing to be part of the prosecutorial team? There are even private prosecutors that have been engaged as well. What is your expectation here, and isn't it enough that there are already that there's already a team of public prosecutors who are willing to prosecute the vice president?
Well, Carmina, as to the court is uninformed yet as of this moment because of the nature of the House of Representatives. The adjournment of the one Congress necessarily puts an end to the term and any authorities of people who are composing the 19th Congress. So after that, there is no communication at all from the House of Representatives. And the order is pretty clear that the Senate Impeachment Court is asking for a resolution from the House of Representatives because that's the only official act that it can do to ensure that the College of the House of Representatives actually gave its authorization to the House prosecutors to pursue the case. And sabi ko nga, isabay na lang nila since they are already doing it for the House prosecutors appointment, then isabay na lang nila rin yung certification.
So hindi sapat yung listahan ng mga public prosecutors na isusumite sa impeachment court. You don't see that as a certification?
Carmina, the question must be asked, how will it be given to the court? Is it a matter of compliance? Is it just a paper letter from the Speaker of the House? Who gave the authority to the House prosecutors? So, and also, who will give the authority?
I mean, isn't that self-explanatory? Who gave the authority to the House prosecutor? Isn't that their mandate? And isn't that self-explanatory once they put in their appearance?
this is the point wherein there is a legal and a political narrative. And the political narrative, yes, your opinion might be viable for that. However, for the legal narrative and the legal requirements, there are formalities that has to be ensured by both houses.
But why
For
make that
example, the
distinction, Attorney Tongol? Why make that distinction when it's been said that it's quasi-judicial, quasi-political? I mean, all they need to do is put in their appearance and prosecute. And the mandate of the Senate as an impeachment court is to try. Why put in all of these, hurdles for the House of Representatives to perform their mandate? That is what is not clear to the people, Attorney Tongol.
Imagine a scenario, Carmina, wherein they just gave us a letter of the list of their prosecutors. What would the defense come up with to question again the process or the jurisdiction or that filing? Because there has been an issue whether or not the 19th Congress the actions of the 19th Congress can cross over to the 20th Congress. So the impeachment court has to protect its process. It has to protect its jurisdiction. So those certifications actually uphold the integrity and the jurisdiction of the impeachment court. So why do we need to give legal impediments, reasons for the defense to question each and every step and go to the Supreme Court for answers? That will actually delay more the proceedings. That's why we are asking the fellow Congress, the House of Representatives, to already settle this within us, within the legislative branch of government.
But then again,
so once the Supreme Court is tasked to decide on this issue, they would have to already put this under the political question doctrine or a non-justiciable question for them to answer.
So but then again, one could argue, Attorney Tongol, with those statements that you just said, wouldn't the defense say or question the very action of the Senate impeachment court? In your words, you are empowering the House of Representatives. You are empowering the public prosecutors by issuing this order. Wouldn't the defense then say, wait a minute, why are you empowering this side and not us? Don't you run that risk?
Because they were the ones who questioned the jurisdiction of the impeachment court with their answer ad cautelam. So they are the ones who are not actually recognizing the process to continue. So in order to forestall and foreclose that, the impeachment court has to be assured that everything is above board and is going as ordered. So that once the process or the case is filed with the Supreme Court, the impeachment court would have a defense that since the House of Representatives issued these certifications already, then this is a political question and the Supreme Court cannot decide anymore on this matter. So that is the wisdom of the actions of the impeachment court. So I don't know why the impeachment court is being villainized for this when it is actually just protecting the process and its integrity in continuing on with the process.
And in doing so, I'm sure you've heard this, Attorney Tongol, in doing so, the Senate presidency of Senate President Francis Chis Escudero is, according to some, now on shaky ground, that is going to be the foremost issue once the 20th Congress resumes. How secure is your job as a spokesperson of the Senate impeachment court if it does happen that the Senate presidency is changed? Will you still be able to keep your job, given that your appointing power is the incumbent Senate President, Chis Escudero? Go ahead.
Like any appointee, I know that my job is precarious and I serve in the pleasure of the Senate President and the impeachment court. So if they see that I bring value to the court, then maybe I might keep my job. But if they see that I don't bring value to the court, then I might lose my job. So I serve at their pleasure.
Okay, where do we go from here? What are we waiting for next? Give us a timeline. Refresh your memory because it's been a while since we last talked. Go ahead.
So we are now on step 7 of the steps that I have outlined. So we are waiting for the appearance of the Vice President, and probably the first day will be on July 29, and one senator will move for the convening of the impeachment court as part of the Senate rules, the legislative rules of the Senate. So upon motion of one senator, the senator judges who have now taken their term or started their terms would need to swear in before the presiding officer, and maybe in the order of business of the impeachment court, a reissuance of the summons so that a date can be set for the appearance of the Vice President. Because the summons that was issued last June 11 did not contain any date for its appearance, because the convening of the impeachment court is contingent upon the compliance of the House of Representatives with the 2 certifications. So once the House of Representatives has communicated the compliance with the second order and the appointment of the House prosecutors by the morning of July 29, then maybe the impeachment court can already convene in the afternoon or maybe the next day.
All right, we're going to have to leave it at that. The spokesperson of the Senate Impeachment Court, Attorney Reginald there, joining us this noon. Thanks again.
Ayun po, nadinig nyo po itong si Atty. Reginald patungkol dito sa impeachment trial na tinalakay noong nakaraan ng Senado. O bueno mga kababayan, hanggang dito na lamang po ang ating reaction video. Lagi po kayong mag-iingat at God bless. Duterte po tayo hanggang dulo.